Is this mic on? Testing. 1, 2, 3, 4.
This is a sound check. Brace yourself, cause we're coming with another one. Metal moves, singing speakers hotter than the sun. Dropping new bands that you never heard before. Seeing music in and we'll play it all around the world. Lots of haters talking trash, they don't like your shout. Grab a talker, join the party, and we'll shut them down. Independent radio is the future now. Turn it up, tell a friend. It's showtime.
I often wonder to myself, do I let people think that that's a serious intro, or do the people that listen to the show understand that that's totally parody, rap metal, kind of new metal thing, which was way out of left field. Welcome to Soundcheck. My name is Moose. So that is really a parody, because we don't do rap metal, new metal that much. So when Halsey, who makes my intros, made that for me, he said, I bet you weren't expecting that one. I was like, no, but I love it. So we do things a little bit left field here. This is Soundcheck. My name is Moose, coming to you from Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. We do this show every Tuesday, and I have a lot of fun doing it. So this is a show where we find songs that not only you have never heard, but I have never heard either. So we both hear them for the first time together, and then I talk about the songs and tell you what I think about it, and then I rate it in tacos. That's right. That's the only show in the history of the world, I think, that has ever used tacos as a rating scale. But I mean, I'll go ahead and just pat myself on the back. That's genius, man. I love tacos. Who doesn't love tacos? If somebody doesn't love, they're a communist. Obviously, they don't like tacos. So yeah, man, we're gonna have a good time. Don't take it too seriously. It's a lot of fun. It is a great, I call it the pinnacle place to find underground music. Because we try very, very hard not to play the same band more than once. So every time you hear a show, you're going to hear like 10 to 15 bands that we've never played before. So you're constantly getting new music. Now listen, sometimes it's true. Sometimes they're really bad. And sometimes the production is awful. But that's part of the show, man. It's kind of pick and choose, and we'll see who makes it and who doesn't. So sometimes you're going to get garbage, but that's the fun of it. But 90% of the time you're going to get like really, really amazing stuff. And then, if it's really, really bad, then you and I get to, make fun of it together. So that's the other part of the thing. But I try not to be a jerk. I try to be, positive and give some creative ideas on how to make your band sound better. Sometimes that creative idea is to make furniture out of your instruments. I mean, that's just the truth, but we get into it and have fun. We're going to start with a little band called Suffer in Silence, and we're going to find out what the hell's going on. Like I said, I don't know where they're from or what they sound like, but we're about to find out right here on Soundcheck from the Moose Pit in OKC with myself, the Moose. Go ahead, buckle it up. Do it.
You're listening to Soundcheck with the Moose. rated in tacos. Only on Soundcheck.
I don't really know what the point of the robot fart there at the end was, but I mean, it's an interesting little noise. At the end of a good song, Suffer in Silence, write it off as a Dimmu Borgir, or as they say here in Oklahoma, Dimmu Borgir. Dimmu Borgir. I saw a picture of Shagrath on Pinterest or something today. He's looking old, man. You know, I remember like when I first got to see them live, and he was out during the sound check without his makeup or anything, and he looked like he was 12. I mean, he just looked so... He had that fresh Norwegian skin, you know what I mean? Looked young and fruitful, and now he looks a little rough, maybe. You know, a little on the rough side. Shagrath. But I mean, you know, he is Dimmu Borgir, and anyway, so I was ready to write that off as a Dimmu tune, but it's not. It kind of has that Godless Savage Garden Dimmu sound to it, that real kind of raw, not overly produced Dimmu. I like it. It's got riffs. I thought the keyboards were well placed. The solos were real nice. The production was nice and crisp. It wasn't overdone. A lot of good things about that. I would probably give that a 4 taco rating right off the bat, man. 4 tacos, first tune. That's a good start, man. So, you know, if you're into the blackened death kind of thing, Suffer in Silence is somebody you might want to check into, because I've never heard of him before, but that was really good, man. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with, and when I say this, and you guys got to understand that when I say that, that means I would be okay telling somebody who was like, hey, man, you know of any new, you know, good bands or whatever, I would be comfortable saying, yeah, man, this band Suffer in Silence is pretty damn good. You should check them out. Like, if I give you anything above a 3.5, you're doing okay. 4 means you're really good. You get a 4.5, then you're... So anyway, I'm going with a 4. Suffer in Silence, pretty good. I mean, if you get 5 tacos with sour cream, we're talking about a whole different level there. That means I'm ready to sign you and put you on my label, except I don't have a label, you know. So, label, I don't know. I'm still freaking out about the mic, because I just don't feel like it's right. I don't feel like my level is right. It doesn't look right. It looks low. I've gone different distances here, away and towards, like Grover. Far away, close, away. It's... I'm not talking in any, like, different... This is how I talk, so I don't know what the hell's going on. I'm not an audio engineer in any way, shape, or form. It's just not. Here's a song by somebody. I don't know.
The Moose, Rocks, Oklahoma.
sun, stares into the sun. Astonished, mesmerized, until we went blind with the glimpse of light to be our guide.
Want to know if you suck? Send your music to Soundcheck.
It's a little bit of Painted Black here from the Moose Pit in Oklahoma City. This is Soundcheck. Man, I really, really like that song. A lot of, Moon Sorrow kind of feel going on there. November, that gothy, but it's got a little bit of that electronic kind of, Nighttime Birds kind of feel as well. On The Gathering. All of those are things that I love. So I also think that a lot of those are bands that people listening to the show may not have heard of before. I'm finding over and over and over again that death metal is the most popular kind of music that we play. And a lot of people that, got into Deicide and Nocturnus and Morbid Angel and then early thrash and stuff started out like that, took a total left turn on bands like Moon Sorrow and The Gathering and November's Doom and Catatonia and all that stuff. And man, that sucks because you're missing out on a bunch of stuff. Please forgive me, by the way, guys. I'm kind of going through a head cold deal, so I'm really stuffy today, sniffing a lot. I apologize. It's terrible podcast etiquette of me, but it's true. And I've got my mic cranked up really high, so I'm sitting back because I don't want you guys to hear all the disgusting throat cookies I've got going on. So I thought that song was awesome, and I think it could be big in a lot of genres. Of course, the sad, suicidal, emo, gothy chicks are going to love it. The guys who are want to be vampires, so the gothy chicks will like them. Would also like that music. But even a guy like me who's wearing a Damage Incorporated t-shirt, and has been into metal since '86, likes that. But I'm really into that kind of doomy, kind of gloomy stuff. Anything that you can relate to The Cure, which I think that the soft parts, the soft guitar parts and the keyboards, and it just, yeah, man, yeah, 4.5 tacos is what I'm going to give that. And I would totally wear your shirt if you guys want to send me one. I'll wear it. It's got to be a 3X though, because I'm big. And listen, if you guys can't afford to send shirts or you don't have shirts or anything, I also love autographed copies of CDs. If you guys want to shoot me out a copy of your CD, I've just bought 2 500 CD racks, and I'm starting to put my stuff back together again here in the studio and stuff. So I would love your CD. I'm so lucky a lot of bands have sent CDs, and I thank all of you. Anyway, Painted Black, huge. That's good. That's something I will go back and listen to more of, and you all know that's a compliment, because ain't nobody got time for that, you know what I'm saying? It's Soundcheck. Who do we got next? Hell, I have no idea. How about Indignity with a song called Genotype of a Murderer? This ought to be fun. Sounds fun.
Release Rocks New York.
Soundcheck on iTunes, YouTube, iHeartRadio, and in your local taco truck.
So one of the reasons that I didn't do reviews like on the show for the longest time was kind of for this reason right here. There absolutely was nothing in that song that made me have a goosebump or a tingle or anything. And listen, so here's the deal, and that's kind of the thing about reviews. You know what? Some people's junk is other people's treasure. I didn't care for it. I totally. That's the kind of stuff that I would expect a young kid to play to me and just go, "This is so brutal." Okay, well, I mean, yeah. Are we looking for brutality or quality of music, or what? It just was adolescent to me, not something that I personally thought was that big of a deal. And somebody told me that I shouldn't say this so much, but I've heard this 8,000 times. For me, it did nothing. I mean, listen, it's quality stuff. The production was good. It was brutal. It was, deathy. The intro was a little bit long, but it I've already found like my masters of that type genre. You know what I mean? And that to me is also one of those deals that's kind of stuck in between two worlds. You've got your old school brutal death metal. You've got your new, prog, genty tech death, and that's kind of trying to be somewhere in the middle there, and it's going to fail on the genty tech death side, and I think on the old school death metal side, it's just going to get tossed into a lake of 5 billion CDs that sound like that. Nothing separated that from anything else for me. So, sorry guys, I'll give you about a 3 taco. I mean, you put out a good quality product, and I'm sure that there are plenty of fans out there who are going to be writing me hate mail. That happens. But for me personally, it was kind of a snooze fest. So, hope that didn't make you too mad. But if it does, that's okay. Maybe you'll get better from it, or maybe you'll decide to, try to put some new elements in your music, or, hell, turn around and start playing Gin Blossom's cover at, the local Mexican restaurant. Whatever you do. But I appreciate the music, and that's the tacos. Atonement Theory. Been waiting to hear this one. Let's check it out on Soundcheck.
The Moose Rocks Florida. Text in your request to the Soundcheck Taco line 424-666-7356.
Like, I know that everybody that's a music dork like me sits around and says, man, if I could build, this cool band, I'd have, Paul Gilbert and Jeff Loomis on guitars and Charlie D'Angelo and, B. Ward from Marduk on bass, yada, yada, yada. We all do that. That to me was like Neurosis with Rob Flynn on vocals. Love the minor key, doomy, emotional, just longing. Just the guitar parts were just, reminds me of that old lyric, heavier than heaven and lonelier than God. It just has that kind of longing to it. Really, really good. Atonement Theory. That was damn impressive. Here's the deal, though. I think that I've heard of them before. I may have even played them on the Metal Moose. That's amazing. That is like really high quality, major label stuff. Production was beautiful. Drum tone wasn't my most favorite. I love all the guitar tones were great. The layers, the vocals were well executed, not overdone in the emotional department. Still, kind of had that, crowbar-esque, just gritty sandpaper in the throat, just kind of a deal. So, man, I'm all about that, and that's something I definitely will go with. I'm so lucky. I'm the luckiest guy in the world, because when these bands send me music, I usually get the whole album. So I get to go back and listen to the ones that I find that I really, really like. Go back and I listen to them, more of them, which there have been, I don't know, over the course of the 4 years that I've been doing this, there's been, 10 or 20 bands, maybe, that I've gone back and listened to. Again, Moontooth, Olathia, Sleepwalking Home. These are bands that I put on my, on my playlist for my car. I'm like, Final Drive. Look, there's been some really amazing ones. So there's another one right there I'm going to get into. I'm going to check them out, and I'm going to get, hopefully get an Atonement Theory shirt and a CD. If you guys want to send me a CD, a signed one would be preferred. I'd love that. Really damn good stuff. Atonement Theory, kind of my 5 taco pick of the show so far. Coming up next, Buried and Gone. It's a sweet name.
The Moose Rocks, Colorado.
This is Izzy Devious and Lieutenant Colonel Lee from Accidental President in Sydney, Australia.
G'day to all you listeners at Metal Moose Radio.
Agitators and flag bearers.
Stay brutal.
Yeah, so Buried and Gone is, to me, like one of those kind of bands that I think people imagine they're going to hear when they listen to an unsigned and indie show. And it's good. It's good stuff. It's just not there. It's missing that thing. You know what I mean? It's just missing that whatever it is that makes something go from indie and unsigned to holy crap, that should be signed. It just doesn't have that it factor. Is it a good tune? It's all right, you know. It's kind of that, that feeling when somebody says, hey man, I want you to hear my band, and they, put the CD in or whatever, play it on YouTube, whatever. You walk away going, yeah, I mean, it's all right. And that's kind of what I got there. I'd give that about a 3.5 taco. It was okay. I think that it's, above garage band. I think it's kind of at club bar band level right now. And not much more than that. Is there a possibility for it to be better in the future? Yeah, totally. Good elements there. The pieces are right. It's just missing that thing. And I don't know what that is. I can't help you exactly with what it is you need to have that. Your vocals are, that would be the first thing. If I were in the studio with you guys, the vocals would be the very first thing that I keyed in on and say, yeah, we need to work on this, because it's a deterrent. So that's just my own personal advice, that the vocals to me were a deterrent, and I think that if worked in the right way, could be better. But there was other things too. So there's a lot of stuff. I'd love to come in the studio with you guys and tell you my ideas on how to fix stuff. But I doubt that you could afford to fly me out there. I don't even remember who the hell sings this next song, so we'll find out after the tune. The song's called "If Stars Were Born."
You are listening to the Metal Moose.
Now
right. It was called Coraxo. That's the name of the band. So this is a perfect example of something that happens a lot, and I think it's like, it's appealing to the band. You've got a wall of sound there. I mean, that is just a big brick of sound dropped straight on your head. And listen, the band likes it because it sounds so powerful. Whoever's mixing it and the producer's saying it's going to be thick, it's going to be loud, it's going to be, it's going to sound well produced. It won't sound like a demo. You know what I'm saying? But the problem is that I think that something like that, you lose the elements. There's a lot of really cool melodies going on in there. There's a lot of cool intricate pieces in that tune, but you've got to listen like hell to hear it. And that kind of sucks because I think that is a really, really cool song. I like the direction of the band. It's got that behemoth kind of wall of sound feel to it. Almost with some Amon Amarth-ish kind of Viking-esque melody things going on there. I mean, there's a lot of cool stuff going on there that I'd like to hear more, but I feel like I want to break it into pieces because, I mean, I'm lucky enough to have that kind of an ear that I can sit down and pull the pieces from the song, but I don't think that your average person can, and maybe the average person doesn't give a crap, but I do, because there's a lot of good things being missed in that song just by the overproduction is what it is. So, but I really like the tune. I'd give that probably a 4. You know what I mean? Really good. It deserves better, production wise. And I think that's advice to bands going into the studio sometime. Be careful about overproducing. Be careful about burying the beauty, in your music with production, because it's a crime, man. You have to let the good things stand out as much as they can. And the good thing about that band Corexo is not that it's a wall of sound. The good thing about it was the stuff behind that wall. So, and I think people will miss that, and that sucks. So, coming up next is a band called Adelaide, which I think is a really cool. Just makes me think of kind of glam metal. You know what I mean? And the name of the song, and what is it called? Nights in Tokyo. Nights in Japan. Yeah, this could very well be our Aquanet song of the night. We'll find out though, because hey, I'm down with some glam. Adelaide, let's check it out right here, Moose Pit.
The Moose Rocks Canada.
enter your lips, reveal his words. I'm going to Mount Fuji and scream your name. I will immortalize, take the memory of your face as a positive touch. It has no say on the run. I see a shadow with the land of rising sun. Through the long distance, I need you by my side. Tonight is in Japan. I feel your scent in the air. Tonight is in Japan. Now we wait for you until dawn. Tonight is in Japan. I feel your scent in the air. Tonight is in Japan. Now we wait for you until dawn.
You are listening to the Metal Moose.
I don't know about you guys, but Adelaide sounds like they might be from Japan. That had that definite oriental feel to it. It also had a really kind of, not so much, Aquanet butt rock kind of thing, but it almost had that 80s pop sound to it, which was kind of interesting. It sounds like an 80s B-side from a... just the guitar production was really, really thin. I think it was underproduced, but then at the same time, I got to be honest with you, I can't imagine that somebody sat behind a production board and I guess you're getting paid to produce or whatever, but I would just have to say to the band, guys, really, is this that you want to do this, right? This is. You want to put this out to now listen, I just knowing the music scene in Japan, in the Orient, have you, that song is a #1 hit. It's just that weird. They love that stuff over there. For me personally, I felt it was super watered down. It sounded like the, like if you can imagine a, cartoon rock band, on like Pokemon or something. That's what it, and I hate to sound that because it doesn't have anything to do with the Oriental part of it. It just sounds like a cartoon kind of or kids movie song kind of deal. Yeah, man, not really for me. I'm gonna give you a 3, maybe a 3.25. It wasn't horrible. It literally it you know what it reminds me? It reminds me of kind of like an Oriental starship. You know what I mean? It has that kind of watery 80s pop kind of look. We have a guitar player kind of a deal. Yeah, so man, I don't know, just not for me personally. Hey, real quick, I know at the end of the show I've got just a little bit of time, so I need to make sure and mention during the show, thanks for tuning in on iTunes and iHeartRadio and Spreaker and TuneIn and all of the other places you can find the show. It's amazing. It is awesome how many people hear this show every week. Thanks to all the people that wait for it to come out on Tuesdays and download it. But the show's doing 24/7, 365 at themetalmoose.com, on iTunes as well, Spreaker. You can listen to the show anytime you want, any time zone. Full episodes, 2 hours, a bunch of them. Razgate, terrible band name. Just throwing that out there. Bad.
You are listening to the Metal Moose.
Razgate. Like I said, awful band name, and I'm sure there's a meaning to it or some sort of emotional connection. I get that, but it is a lame band name. But good music, man. Good, solid, thrashy, throwback, kind of hard rock, late 80s kind of stuff, early 90s. I like it. My positive thing about the song is I feel like if I were listening to, like Z-Rock in 1989, and that would have came on, God, it sounded like Lars. So in 1999 on Z-Rock, and they were playing Metallica anyway, so I just don't know that I feel like I could put something on my body permanently, Anyway, yeah, so Lars. Anyway, I feel like I was listening to Z-Rock, back in the day when I was younger, and I heard that. It was cool because Z-Rock is where I found out about bands like Sabotage and Tokyo Blade. When I'd get to travel closer to Texas and we could actually get Z-Rock because it was a Dallas station, I got to, discover some great new bands. But if I would have heard that back then, I would have thought, yeah, man, that's pretty good. It would have fit right in with, the music I heard on that station. And not only that, it has that same kind of feel, mentality, you know what I mean? So it was really good. I like it. I'd give that a 4-star. The downside to that is, and I know that a lot of people don't consider this a downside, and not saying it in a negative way. I know that I'm using the word, downside, which, sounds negative and scary, but it's not, is that it sounds fresh and new to people who've never heard of Z-Rock or were not around in the 80s. But to somebody like me, I liked it. It was good. It was throwback. It was nostalgic kind of a deal. But beyond that, it's not something that I would run to the store to pick up, the CD or download on iTunes. I would go, hey, man, that was pretty cool. Next. You know what I mean? It just kind of had that. It's good. The performance was good. I liked the tune. I liked the way it was put together. I liked the vibe, but it doesn't garner enough interest for me to want it. Does that make sense? Like, it was there. It was good. It was, it was kind of like a first date, Do I want to date that person again? I don't know, man. I'm not sure about that. So anyway, yeah, good stuff. Poison Pill. Some first dates, are good and you never go back anyway. So maybe it's kind of like that. Never heard of this one until tonight. Poison Pill on Soundcheck with the Moose from OKC. Let's do this.
You're listening to Soundcheck with the Moose.
Stay
listening to the Metal Moose.
Hell to the yes. Hell to the yes, man. How do you possibly, as a human being, hear that song and not go, that just kicked all kinds of ass, man? It's got that Overkill, old school Toxic Waltz, Exodus, Paul Bailoff, kind of thing. It's amazing. This goes back to my whole, if you're going to do something that sounds like, another band or other bands, you better do it at least as good as they do or better. That was, if I would have heard that back in the day, I would have said, oh my God, this is like, stellar stuff. And I'm hearing it now, 35 years later, and I'm going, yeah, I mean, that right there is, that is metal. There's just no, it's in that same vein as 3 Inches of Blood and Lords of the Trident. When I listen to those kind of bands, I'm ready to go and get into a street fight. That is, you just want to get into the pit and start it up, man. That was beautiful. 5 damn stars. I mean, it really should only be like 4.5 stars because it borrows heavily from a lot of other bands, but I don't give a damn. That was awesome. That was great. That just totally revved me up. You guys don't even know I moved stuff around in the studio. Listen to that. That was yeah, man. That was totally rad. Totally rad, man. I liked that a lot. So yeah. So coming up next is I think it's Odor Rec Room. I'm almost positive it is. Let's check real quick. Yeah, Odor Rec Room comes from our good friends over at Hypnotic Dirge Records. Hypnotic Dirge has been putting out stuff that as soon as they put something out, I listen to it like immediately. Probably one of my favorite labels. It's very doomy, very minor key, dark, solemn stuff like Wacoon and yeah, man. So I love it. I am stoked to hear this, and I can't wait because it's real soundscape metal, real, like I said, depressive, doomy kind of stuff, and I love that. So we're gonna check it out. Not a lot of people are into this, kind of sadness, but God knows I am. I love it. So Odoric Room. From our friends at Hypnotic Dirge. This is Soundcheck with the Moose and OKC. Hope you're having a good time. Let's keep doing this right now.
Text in your request to the Soundcheck Taco Line 424-666-7356.
experience, that itself is nothing you can see. So you can see sights, but you can't seem to see it. You can hear sounds, but you can't hear the hear. So the witness is that which is aware of everything that's arising, but you can't see the witness. If you can see the witness, that's just another object.
This is Izzy Devious and Lieutenant Colonel Lee from Accidental President in Sydney, Australia.
G'day to all you listeners at Metal Moose Radio.
Agitators and flag bearers.
Stay brutal.
Odradek Room. I think I was pronouncing it wrong earlier, and I don't want to get that wrong. We spell it for you guys real quick, so if you are into that and want to look it up, Odradek Room. Hypnotic Dirge artist. So listen, I love Hypnotic Dirge and the music they put out. That's another good example. But this is one of those songs that doesn't work out well for Soundcheck. I need to listen to that multiple times. There was a lot of textures. There was a lot of layering, a lot of things going on. And sometimes I think people get it backwards because they're always like, when a song is fast, there's so much stuff going on. And listen, the Dillinger Escape Plan is a perfect example of that. You listen to it and you're just like, oh my God, my head's going to blow up. And there is a lot going on, but sometimes it's the slower songs that have the more stuff going on. You know who the master of that is? Ishan from Emperor. Anyway, so I like that, but it's hard for me to give that a rating. It was good. It's something I will go back and listen to. And it's one of those releases that I want to take the time to spend time with the release to get to know it. A little bit more time to spend with it. And sometimes it's a good thing. Sometimes it's like that music that you want to smoke a pipe with, you know what I mean? Sit back and, I'm talking about a tobacco pipe. Yes, I do smoke one, and that's what I'm talking about. It's a good spend time figuring out the nuances and the great things about the music. So I'm at this point in time, I want to give it a 4-star. But I don't know that will stick 100%. Just because it may be more, or I may learn some things that I'm not fond of. But I will say this, that you should buy a copy of it just to support Hypnotic Dirge, man. Go find them on Bandcamp or Facebook, and support them. Good label. Been doing it a long time. It's getting harder and harder for labels like Hypnotic Dirge to exist out there. So anytime you can buy a $3 CD or a $5 CD, that goes a long, long way to labels like that. And Black Lion Records, and there's numerous labels out there that are just looking for a few people to support them, $5 at a time. They're kind of like me, man. Whenever you can give something, please do, because it means a lot to us. So this is a band called Nimir. Yeah, this ought to be interesting. Looks cool.
Moose rocks New York.
Is there all good, of course, man?
And it's Namir on Soundcheck. Very, very Dark Throne-esque. The song is called Hamvak, which I don't know if that's German or Norwegian. Anyway, yeah, so I mean, I like that kind of stuff. It's I say that kind of stuff. This is the problem with the genre issue, because that was black metal. There's zero doubt about that. Very, very black metal. But it doesn't sound like Cradle of Filth, or it doesn't sound like Demon Borgir, or doesn't sound like Bursum so much. There's different kinds of stuff out there, but I like that. That is one of the styles of black metal that I like, is that old, really rough, kind of Nordic. I mean, I don't know, but that whatever they're incorporating into their music, I dig. I liked that. Something I might put into my black metal rotation. Even though I mean, I got to be honest with you, my rotation, I'm kind of stuck in my ways. What's Dark Throne, Immortal, Emperor, Marduk. There's not a lot of ton of room in there for newer black metal stuff, but every now and then you hear something, you're like, yeah, Ulver. I like some old Gvildsfunger, Ulver. So anyway, yeah, cool tune. I give it a probably a 3.75 to a 4 taco rating. Very nice. Very nice. This next band is called Royal Guard, and it's just a weird name to me. Kind of, I don't know where that came from. It's kind of boring, Royal Guard. But the song is called No God, and I picked that title because of the deathy kind of audience that we have. But I have no idea. With a Royal Guard, it sounds like power metal. You know what I mean? That's what I think when I see a band called Royal Guard. I think of power metal, and so it's kind of got me, off guard. Royal Guard. Nice job, guys. So anyway, we'll check it out here on Soundcheck and see what you think. Thanks for finding us on iTunes and YouTube and subscribing. That's pretty cool. From the Moose Pit.
Is this mic on? Testing. 1, 2, 3, 4.
This is a Soundcheck. the beast they never forget. But as the time flows and minds evolve, will they ever accept that there's no God that will decide and settle our hands?
Want to know if you suck?
Hey, you suck.
Send your music to Soundcheck.
I'd be interested to hear some more of Royal God's music, because I obviously that's not their main sound. You know, that was a bluesy acoustic kind of thing. And I guess what I thought was cool with the tune was the intro and the outro, which I don't know if anybody else caught that besides me, but it to me it indicated that people weren't really paying attention to what they were saying, which has been there, done that. So and there was nothing wrong with that song. Nice bluesy, kick back, cowboy boots on the porch kind of a deal, or song at a bonfire kind of deal. It was a good tune. It's not anything that I feel like I want to listen to more. I think that it could be in the right hands. It could definitely be something that could be very successful, very popular, liked by a lot of people. I don't see a lot of people listening to that song saying that they don't like it. I don't know that how many people would listen to that song and go, wow, that was amazing. But I think more people would say that than people that said they don't like it. So pretty cool tune, man. I like it. Like I said, it's one of those songs that kind of like More Than Words, or Love Is on the Way kind of a deals where you could sell 1 billion records off of it, but then the rest of your album is like rock and people are like, oh no, I like that cute little acoustic thing. And yeah, so that's what you get with. You had some interesting tunes tonight, man. So we get the whole bluesy thing and then the whole 80s Wang Chung kind of band earlier. This next is a band called Fire and Blood. Is that right? Let me just look here. No, I don't think so. What is Fire and Blood? Here it is. It's a band called, what are they called? Samarkand, which that is another weird name. Samarkand. Yeah, that's right. Okay. Samarkand with a song called Fire and Blood. Interesting band name. Not necessarily stupid, but strange. And Samarkand. Maybe there's some sort of meaning to that. I don't know. Maybe it's trying to say that people named Sam are kind people, or Sam is our kind of people, something like that. I don't know. Hell, it could be about a pizza joint. Who knows? But anyway, they threw in some music to us with a tune called Fire and Blood. We're going to check it out. Real quick, because of limited time at the end of the show, once again, thank you for listening to the show on any of the radio stations out there playing: Indie Rage Radio, WSNR, Boston Rock Radio, Metal Maxim Radio, I think in Italy. Yeah, man. Lots of stations playing the show. Of course, as well, the digital outlets, iTunes, and not Spotify. I did submit it to Spotify, I think, but I haven't heard anything back, so who knows? We'll see what happens. I mean, I'm on all the digital platforms that you can find pretty much, so there's no reason to ever miss a show. And if you subscribe on iTunes or Spreaker, that's really cool. You'll definitely never miss a show then, because you get an email telling you about every show that comes out. So anyway, yeah, man, thanks so much for listening and having fun. I hope you guys are finding some new music that you're digging. And hey, I got to get to the Twitter question of the week, the Twitter and the Facebook question. So can't forget about that. We put out a question. We're going to start doing this every week. Just a question to catch some opinions. So here's some our kind. Weird.
Where you get raided in tacos. Only on Soundcheck.
Rocks New York.
As soon as I turn on the microphone, I get a cough. It's for those of you who don't know, I'm a very quiet person. I don't speak a lot. It's just I think that words are overrated. But so when I do this show, I usually lose my voice. Within the 2 hours it usually takes me to make the show, I lose it. So I'm constantly chugging like Kool-Aid or water or something to keep my voice going. And right now with this whole head cold thing, it's twice as bad. So excuse me for coughing and sniffing and stuff. So I'm certainly not meaning to do that in your ear. So Samarkand, that was really good. Really, I liked it. It had that almost buzz 90s cult kind of feel to it. You know, Ian Astbury, which is so I thought it was good. It was a good tune. Not once again, not something I want to rush out and buy the CD of, but something I can listen to and enjoy and go, that was pretty good, man. Like I did, like I feel like that would be a good radio song. I don't know so much about today, but I think that this scene is kind of it's trending back again, which is cool with me. I dig that, you know, that old bluesy kind of look. I mean, Guns N' Roses is still on tour, for God's sakes, you know what I mean? So I think it's cool. It's got a lot of potential, and I'd give it a 3.75, you know, kind of a deal. So it's nostalgic again, kind of fun, not blowing my mind, but good. And I think that it's another one of those songs just like that other tune. I mean, I don't see very many people going, I did not like that. I see a lot of people going, yeah, man, that was pretty damn good. So, not bad, man. Throw some tacos at you. Actually, that would be bad. You'd have to be horrible for me to throw tacos, because I would much rather eat them. Anyway, so, good job, Samarkand, whatever. Black metal. It's got to be this next band. What the hell name is that?
You're listening to Soundcheck with the Moose.
his fur, in boxes and black wire. We got to a forest that resembles a summer resort. We'll search thoroughly. They took away my belt, my penknife, and my watch. It showed the time. It was 6:30.
Come on. Really? Stall Shore, God. Yeah. Pretty good. 4 stars. 4 stars. Okay, so wake up, kick ass, be kind, repeat. That's how we do it. Make sure and catch a show every Tuesday on iTunes and YouTube. This is Moose with Soundcheck. Until next time, do me a favor, take care of each other. And until next time, you just take care.
The music heard on the Metal Moose are reserved by the authors, their labels, or authorized representatives that permitted their material to be used. The Metal Moose holds no rights to any music played on the show. Go to themetalmoose.com to submit your music to be heard on the show. Metal Moose accepts donations of money, Cheetos, bacon, and naked pictures. Thank you for tuning in and subscribe on iTunes. Rock out while you rack out, and consider yourself moosed.